Hey, it's Carlo. I'm going to show you how to do some geometrical slope patterns. They look like this. These are the simplest ones, but they can also you can get different shapes. You can kind of make it all symmetrical, kind of stretch these shapes out a little bit. You can also do some overlapping, make different patterns. You can do different patterns on the inside of them and kind of make some cool effects, look like stars or look like glass panels and stuff like that. Or when you get really complicated, and I'll do separate videos for all these different techniques, but you can do letters with them actually, so that's really fun. But those are super hard, and that's going to be the last video I do, so don't worry about those yet. But we're going to start out with these ones, because these are the simplest ones, and then I'll show you how to do some different proportions and stuff. So what you're going to need graph paper and a ruler and a pencil. Don't use a marker. I'm using a marker because it shows up better on the video, but you're going to mess up, so use a pencil. So here we go. Let me turn this around here. So to start out, you're just going to draw a straight line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we'll go with. And you can use whatever number you want. I'm just going to use 5 because it's quick and easy. It's a good number. And then right perpendicular, 5. What you're going to do is you're going to connect this top point to this first point right here. So, bam, like that. And then the second point to the second point right here. Just like that. And just continue doing this, each point to the next point, gradually increasing, or decreasing, sorry, the slope of your ruler. And this gradually changing slope is what makes the illusion of a curve. That's calculus right there. But it's really fun because people think that you're super talented and you can draw perfect circles and perfect curves and do all these crazy patterns inside them, and really it's just all straight lines, so that's pretty fun. If you want to do a circle like these, then what you do is just do another one right here, right there, there, and then, you know, up here and around too. If you want to do a little star pattern, then just right there, like that, continue around like that. It's kind of fun if you put one right here, and looks like an eye, and then if you want to go this way too and overlap them, then you get a nice like rounded square in the middle, and those look good. So those are some patterns you can do with the simple ones. If you want to get more complicated, then you can change the proportions. And the way we're going to do this is we're still going to start out with 5 on this side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. But then on this side, we're going to have 10 instead of 5 to stretch it out a little bit. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, the number one rule with making these is pretty much on each axis you want to have the same number of points. So here we've got 5 points, here we've got 10, so we're going to double up over here. Just in the middle of these squares, just going to make little notches. And another reason why you want to use pencils, so you can erase the notches later or just make them a lot smaller and less visible. But yeah, so basically instead of connecting at every square, we're going to connect every half square, and then it's exactly the same here. So basically just this point to the first, it's so hard. Here's another reason why it's better to use a pencil and not a marker, because the easiest way to get your ruler lined up is to set your writing utensil, touch it, and then rotate your ruler until you got the right spot. But if you're using a marker, you get an ink blob, and that sucks. So use a pencil or a fine tip pen if you're super confident in your abilities. And this is all the same. And you get a nice smooth curve and nice rectangles instead of squares. There you go. So therefore, if you want to do more this way, you'll get an oval, or if you do them all next to each other, then you get these kind of stretchy stars like that. So those are nice. Yeah, and then of course you can do, you know, connecting at any point. You could take from here, and since you've got 5 here, and then you could do 10 more here and stretch it down that way and do all kinds of crazy stuff. So knock yourself out experimenting with that. It's great fun to do when you're bored in class. Let's see, the next thing is changing up the angles, and this is a little more difficult. These make that kind of a thing, kind of a stretched out look to it. So those are really fun. Or also you can do different numbers, like you can do triangles there instead of having 4, or it's the same technique as for the stars where you've got 6 or 8 in this case, or in this case you've got 5. So I'll do a couple different examples. I'll start out with just the simple square. So basically we'll start here again and just have the same beginning point. You don't always have to start like that, of course, but instead of going perpendicular, I'm going to go at an angle. So I'm just going to choose a 45-degree angle because it's nice and easy, but you do whatever angle you want. And we're going to have our 5 intersections here, and then our 5 intersections here. Ooh, 4, 5. There we go. And then simply connect as before, each point to the next point, and you'll get a much tighter curve or a much larger curve depending on your angle. So there you go, just like that. Now if you want to do a stretched square kind of a look, then what you're going to do is you're going to here, 5 more there, right along this line, 5 more there, there you go, fill it in. If you want to do a triangle, then pick an angle that's right in between these right here, and then an angle that comes down in here. So we're going to go right about there. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now with this, it's pretty easy this way because I did a 45-degree angle, because you can just pretty much every point is wherever your marker intersects with the graph. But you can't really do that here because sometimes it intersects closer than other times. So what we're going to do is we're only going to take the horizontal intersections. So you've got one right there, that one doesn't count, that's vertical, one right there, right there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then with these nice wider angles, all the same, it just looks different. And these get a much smoother, subtler curve like that. And then you can do them over here as well and get a nice stretched out triangle looking thing. And these, since these curves are so shallow, they kind of look straight, so it looks a little bit like a, like kind of a 3D triangle kind of popping out here. And yeah, I like those because these look kind of like flat panels, and you've got this curve there, so those are a good effect. For the stars, you can do them with either 4 points, which is just kind of a stretched, like rhombus looking thing, or you can do them with any number of points you want, really. If you want to do an even pointed star, then it's going to be, instead of just going from one axis, you'll just go 5 up and then also 5 down, and then from the middle, let's do a 6 point. So we'll just choose something here. I like that slope. Let's do it like that. And then we'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 horizontal intersections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the ends of your lines don't necessarily have to be at one of the crosses in the graph paper. They can end in the middle. It doesn't really matter. Sometimes I'll get really particular about it and make sure that they end there, but it doesn't make a difference. And you can make these symmetrical. You can get a something like that where it's nice and symmetrical, or you can get crazy and just do a completely different angle, and that is also fun. So I'm just going to do something like that. This one actually happens to be perpendicular to these, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, so yeah, and then just continue filling them in just like that, and you'll end up with a star. 5-pointed stars, I would say, are the hardest. I've never tried 7, but I'm sure those would be more difficult. For a 5-pointed star, the hardest part is because you have to choose your angles wisely. It's pretty easy with the 6 points and everything because they can go straight through. You just pretty much rotate until you find an angle you like and go straight through. But for the 5 points, you don't get to do that. So I'm just going to start like this as usual. And then for your 5 points, you don't want to go perfectly perpendicular, but a little bit less than that. So I'm just going to choose right there. And in this case, you can choose either horizontal or vertical intersections. In this case, I'm doing vertical, 3, 4, 5. If I was doing horizontal, then I would have twice the slope because it's yeah, less than 1, but or less than 0. But yeah, anyway, whatever you like. Just to keep it straight there. Now here, I don't want to go quite this way, but I don't want to go quite that way either. So I'm just gonna go kind of like that. I'll just go straight across on this one. Now for here, I don't want to go exactly here or exactly here, so I'm just going to angle it right in between this angle like we did for the triangle and find a point that I like, and I'll say that one. That's fine. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 horizontal intersections on this, and then right in between here, let's say like that, and then 5. Yeah, and then just in case it's not clear, I'll mark off the points where you would connect your lines. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's easy. That's straight up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and then you continue. And these are really fun because obviously one leg is a lot longer than the other one. So if you want to stretch your star in a particular direction, then you would make one a lot longer, and you could even cut these shorter and just make your marks in a different way. Like if I wanted to end this line here, and then I would just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'd have a much shorter leg, and I'd have a kind of a swooshier curve going on, and I'd be able to stretch my star in whatever way I want. So that's really fun. And yeah, those are the basics for some not too complicated geometric slope shapes. If you have any questions, let me know. Ooh. And next video, I will go over how to do overlapping and how to connect them differently to make kind of flowy designs a little more like these abstract shapes that aren't necessarily in one blob. So yeah, but those are the basics, and if you understand the concepts, then you should be able to make some pretty cool stuff. So let me know if you have questions and comments. Post pictures of whatever you've done. If you come up with some cool things, make a video about it. Awesome. Thanks for watching.